I'm Christina Blais, and I live in Stratford, Connecticut, and we are at the Sacred Threads 2015 show. This is my quilt, Determination. I was invited to make a quilt to celebrate the 50th anniversary of the Civil Rights Act. I wasn't born, I was just about born 50 years ago, and so I did what anybody else would do, and I just went to Google. And I researched and I read for a couple of days to see if I could come up with images of what I might do for a quilt. And I came across this quote by Rosa Parks, and it gave me goosebumps, and I'm getting them now. She said, when she refused to give up her seat on a bus, "I felt a determination cover my body like a quilt on a winter night." And I knew I had my subject matter. Mrs. Parks was not tired that day, and her feet did not hurt. She was just tired of giving in. And that day, she took a seat to take a stand. And I made this quilt, hopefully, in tribute to Mrs. Parks and the work that she did. And to make it, I went out to all of my friends, and I said, oh, I need white on whites. I know I need that, and I need reds. And so I at my next Quilt Guild meeting, they brought me all these baggies of fabric, and it was interesting to think that someone thought that this one was a white on white, or that this one was a white on white, but they gave it to me, and I used it, and I think of that, of this being more of a community quilt. The other thing is, I lost sleep making this quilt. Two things happened. One, I lost sleep because I wondered, how am I ever going to make it? Because I've done applique and fusible and this kind of thing. But when I realized that Mrs. Parks was a seamstress, she did alterations in a department store, I knew that this quilt had to be sewing intensive. And so each of these letters is pieced, and one letter could have maybe 10 pieces within it. The other thing is that when you're working on a quilt, and you're working on a quilt that has the word determination, you are determined. And every morning when I woke up, I just could not wait to start working on this quilt. And it's a wonderful way to be able to monitor your progress, just letter by letter, and word by word, and then line by line. And this is my quilt, Determination, in honor of Rosa Parks.